Chazal tell us in the Gemara in Brachas that there were Gimel Matanos Tovos. There were 3 great good presents that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that Hashem gave to the Jewish people. What were they? The Torah, Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, and Olam Haba, the world to come. And the Gemara tells us that they were only given b'yasuri. They were only given to us with hardship. Meaning, these were 3 things: the Torah, the land of Israel, and the world to come, Olam Haba. These 3 things, in order to acquire them, a person has to be willing to face obstacles, to face opposition, and to basically sacrifice things in order to acquire them. An idea that runs in tandem with this is the idea of lefum tzara agra, that according to the difficulty is a reward. These are things which are precious in the Torah, in Judaism. In order to acquire them, and the reward in getting them is in sync, or is in sync with the amount of hardship one actually goes through in order to get them. However, in this week's Parshas Beshalach, I think we find a new concept. Because the Torah tells us at the beginning of the Parsha that when the Jews are leaving Mitzrayim, that Hashem did not lead us the direct road to Eretz Yisrael. He did not lead us along the civilized path where there would be cities and stores that we could buy our food and drink in, and find shelter, hotels to lodge in. He took us off the beaten track. He took us into the desert, into a desert without any roads. Why did Hashem do this? He brought us into a makom, a place of danger, a place where there was no water, where there was no food, we couldn't even plant things. Why did Hashem do this? So the Torah tells us explicitly, lest we fear the opposition, lest we fear our enemies, in case we come into war, combat with another people, that we should turn around and go back to Mitzrayim. Go back to Egypt. If we think about this, it's actually quite amazing. Everything that the Jewish people had gone through in Mitzrayim, before the plagues, during the plagues, and now being finally released towards freedom, there would still be a yearning, no matter what the situation is, there would still be a yearning to go back to Egypt. That would still be even something in their mind that they would do? Well, apparently yes. Why is that? So, the Stipler says that we see from this Parsha actually a tremendous concept. That the difficulties that we face in life, like as one pursues Torah, Eretz Yisrael, or Olam Haba, those difficulties are there as part of the system. But those are difficulties which we encounter on our mission, so to speak, in order to acquire them. But the Stipler says that we see something amazing here. That there's also difficulties. Hashem also puts difficulties into our life in order to prevent us from taking the easy way out. Life is full of nisyonos, of challenges. I think this week's Parsha tells us a little bit, gives us some insight in how we can actually cope with them. The challenges are there, sometimes because the challenges are there, sometimes because what we're going after is something that's precious. Sometimes the challenges are there just to create a barrier from taking the easy way out. If we think about this, contemplate it a little bit, we can gain a new hashkafa, a new outlook on really the challenges that we face in life. And actually not let them prevent us from becoming the greater people that we are all set out to become.